Hi everybody, welcome to the Chuck and Lisa Show. Welcome to our living room. We do this every week where we join you guys and talk about, Lisa's looking at me. We talk about topics, whatever happens to come up during the week or in our lives, and we share them with you.
That aren't politics.
That are not politics, believe it or not, which is kind of a cool change. I spend so much of my time doing that. And by the way, I am Chuck Nellis.
There's a song called that. Right?
And everybody say hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
That's take two.
No, there's a song called that, right?
Called what?
Cool Change.
Cool. Yeah, there's a song called Cool Change.
We should put that on our thing.
Yeah. So anyway.
Hi, Lisa.
There you go.
Shut up, Lisa.
So anyway, we have a lot to talk about as always, and this week we've got an interesting topic that most everybody in our audience has dealt with or will, and that is adult children. But before we get to that, I want to introduce my partner in crime, Lisa Nellis. You are known as Louise on Twitter.
I am.
Spell that, please.
Laweez. I've been on Twitter forever.
Number like 4,500 or something, weren't you?
5,000 and something.
That's crazy.
Been on there for over 12 years.
I don't even know what I meant.
We were all just wandering around going, what is Twitter and what are we doing here?
And I am Chuck Nellis. At Twitter, I am at NASCAR Chuck 336. And I am also... until Jack decides it's time to get rid of Chuck again.
And if you can't find Chuck...
And our man in the background, Mr. Dershey. He is our producer. Say hi, Dersh.
Hi, Dersh.
Hi, Dersh.
Hi, Dersh.
You copy me.
We know a good thing. Absolutely. How you doing, Dershey, man?
I've been better, but I'm better than I deserve to be, so it's a good thing.
Well, you're on this side of the dirt, too. That's the best start of any day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you live in Florida, so that to me that's a plus. To you, that's probably a minus.
No, I like North Carolina because we got hills and ocean instead of just ocean, flat and then more ocean.
But he's got Florida, man.
He does. Right now,
it was 75 degrees, 50% humidity, and sunny today. So.
Nice.
Go lay down. Oh my. Our chocolate Cocker has decided she's having a dominance thing with me at the moment, humping my leg.
She was having an affair with your arm.
No crap, she's humping my arm. Anyway, that's not $1 in your jar, Dersh.
She just likes your radio voice.
She just likes my radio voice. That must be it. Hi, everybody in the chat room. Welcome. We're glad you're here. If you want to join us, first of all, Dershey, give out our phone number, the show ID. I see it on the screen.
Yep, 201-439-8092 is the number you need to call. And when you do, you have to give the show ID 820-07366. Give us a call.
Please do that. And because a lot of folks, well, they're going to find the place anyway for hearing it after the show. But the location for us is the Chuck and Lisa Show on YouTube, right?
That is correct.
So they can find us. They can find us that way. And while I've got you on the horn, Mr. Dershey, before we get into the show, Dersh and I have another show that we do together. And Lisa doesn't want any part of it because it's politics on the right side of life. What is the name of it again?
The Right Side of
Right
Politics.
Side of Politics. That's us. And he and I will be getting down and dirty into what we think about stuff, instead of covering everything but politics. Because there's so many shows that deal with politics now. We wanted to do something that's different, frankly. And Miss Lisa.
Yes?
Yes?
Yes.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Lisa.
I'm fine. I am fine other than the fact that I spent 3+ hours driving around in Bufu, North Carolina today.
Yeah. Which brings us into our main... Did I forget to cover anything, Mr. Dershey or Miss Lisa? I am notorious for forgetting to introduce people and introduce where you're from.
There's the dog, and there's the other dog.
And there's
the
the cat.
cat that thinks he's a dog.
He really does think he's a dog. Dershey, anything from you, bro? Anything information you want to give out to folks where they can find you?
Nobody wants to find me, so...
Program.
He's
in the witness protection program.
Jack's after me.
Don't give it away.
It's killed
He's
me.
in the Twitter protection.
Twitter protection program.
You're in the Twitter protection program. You've been ejected from Twitter as many times as I have, man.
I have the 5 times, and I was in Twitmo for a long time, and then he finally just executed me.
Yeah, they just cut your head off. If you're wondering why I sound different when I'm sitting down here versus standing up, it's because I'm standing up and the microphone's down here. See how nice and clear I am right now?
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
When I stand up, I'm farther away from the mic. Oh wait, that sounds
you sound more like Mr. Robinson.
when I sit
Hi,
down,
welcome to Mr. Robinson's neighborhood.
And when I sit down,
how are you, boys and girls?
I'm closer to the mic.
Can you say rob the liquor store? Or whatever he used to say.
Oh my god.
You know, it was hilarious.
That was very funny.
It was a funny show. Eddie Murphy, right? Eddie Murphy. So, if we've covered all the important things, like where to find everybody and all that, let's get into the topic of the night.
Well, it's sort of adult children and sort of just child raising in general.
Yeah.
Rearing, raising.
The teenage years to adulthood, let's put it that way. It's a challenge sometimes. We all had challenges when we were growing up, and times when life was better than worse, and sometimes worse than better. And that goes for our kids too. And
your difference is you have one kid.
Right.
So you can't look at all of your kids and go, well, all of my kids are kind of different. Because you have the one kid.
But I have your 3 kids now, too.
Well, I know,
I've
but
known
what
them
I'm
for
saying...
10 years now, so
what I'm saying was...
like in my heart.
Beer.
Beer 30.
What I'm saying is...
Yes. What I want to say here
is you can't... there's no one formula that works.
Oh, no. You can't cookie cutter a kid.
Well, you could, but that would hurt.
Yeah, then they would probably call the police on you, too. You're right, though. I mean, every kid's different, and every kid's problems and issues and concerns and lives are different.
And they can grow up in the same house and come out completely different.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I had 2 sisters, so I know that. And they're about as different from me as you get.
Didn't.
You still deny them, even in the same town. We went to high school together. We were in the same senior class. We were even in an English class. And she knew my 2 sisters, but she still denies that I was ever there.
Oh, wait, I didn't say that.
They might listen. Oh, wait, they won't. All of our kids, pretty much everybody's kids have had problems of some sort, even the glowing ones, but
Well, yeah, the glowing ones, they just don't put them on Facebook.
Right, you don't hear about it.
Or you don't hear about it.
Or police records or whatever.
Or in the Christmas card, family Christmas card.
Yeah. And, everybody's got their own emotions and everything, and you start it, because this is a topic that's kind of personal to you, and then I also want to have Dershie give his thoughts on the challenges. We're not going to name names. We're not going to do anything like that.
No.
Go ahead.
All right, so my big guilt thing or issue thing is that I moved out of our house when my kids were, hold on, I have to do math here. I hate the math. 14, 16, 18, more or less. So one of them was in college. One of them was already in high school. One of them was not yet in high school. They specifically wanted to stay in the house that they grew up in. I let their dad keep it because they wanted to stay there. I didn't want to live there anymore. And so I moved pretty much right down the street. And, you sometimes wonder if that affects how they grew up. Sometimes. Well, I do. You don't. You can shake your head. You don't know.
I'm just bobbling like a bobblehead.
Yeah, bobblehead.
Bobble Chuck.
Next week, we would be selling Chuck bobblehead dolls for your entertainment.
And then on their chest, it will say, "And Obama still sucks."
And if you're a Democrat, you can buy one because it'll have a little target.
A target with that Obama still sucks.
And you can shoot your BB gun at it.
And shoot Chuck. Just don't shoot at the real Chuck, because he will shoot back.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so another topic for
It's funny. So
yeah.
Anyway,
So I mean, I'm still there.
Let's focus more on the things that you deal with.
All right, but anyway, so they were like teenagers.
Yeah.
When I moved out.
Yep.
But I was still their mom, and I still did stuff with them all the time.
Nothing changed.
Right. Well, yeah, I wasn't in the house all the time. But, so they've all three had their issues off and on over the years.
Yeah, and but don't put it all on yourself, though.
I'm not.
Everybody owns their own thing.
No, I'm not. Because your mom didn't move out, and look at you.
I know. God. Oh my God! Sometimes, honestly, anyway. And this may not be the right thing to say, but sometimes not staying together is best for the children. And my parents would have done us a lot better if they hadn't, to be honest.
Yeah, well, except for that they've, you know what?
I mean, they love us and all that, but they were just fought like cats and dogs.
But you know what? Maybe they would have inflicted themselves upon other people.
Oh God!
So there, so there's that. So, and sorry if they're listening.
No, well, my dad might listen. I love them, and I, frankly, they both know how I feel, and I've told them the same thing since 1970.
I know, and I've heard you tell them many times.
Yeah, but you know what? They say they can't stand each other, but they stay together. So there's got to be something there.
Well. And I don't want to know what it is.
Codependence, maybe.
I don't want to know what it
maybe
is.
It's codependence.
Right. Anyway, so, yeah. So, I guess what brought this topic out was, how much do you do or not do for your children as they're growing up? And where's
the line? And then you finally say, okay, you got to deal with this.
Right, and it's not a set point. It's not a set point. No. It's different for every person.
Right.
And it's different for every circumstance because, for example, your daughter, might have needed a little more or a little less help than another kid.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And or my daughter might need way less help now than my sons might need. But
exactly.
Or, and people deal with things in different ways.
One of the big things is kids never stop needing their parents. Even as much as my mother gets on my nerves sometimes. I love her to death, and I still want her input in my life.
Right, and you say, do I have to call my mother? And then what do I say? What do I say? You'll be sorry when she's dead.
Right, both yours are dead.
All of my parents, because I have a biological father, my mom and my stepfather, and everybody has passed away. And so, I can do the guilt trip. like no other, Do
Yeah.
I have to call my mother?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at least you have parents to talk to.
She does that to me all the time. And I'm like, oh, dude, all right, I'll call.
But you should.
But, the truth is that my dad, he's easy. He's like me. He's like, hi, how you doing?
I gotta go now.
Anything new? I gotta go walk the dog.
I gotta go now.
Is like, if you got anything else to say, nope. All right, we're done. But my mother, she just wants to talk of her. I mean, and I understand that people want to talk and communicate and all this, but so much of it is reiteration.
What's your point? Call your mother.
Call your mother.
She wants to talk to you, except for when she doesn't.
Even if she's a pain in the butt.
Except sometimes you do call her. I can't talk to you right now, Charles.
You've just irritated me.
I can't. No, not that. I just can't talk to you right now. Call me back later.
That one, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So, but anyway, call your mother.
So anyway, I'm not going to name my daughter, but she had some problems in college, and they were significant and life-changing, I guess is a good way to put it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know
and
what?
Also, what did your mother always say when she was younger? Because she's on the spectrum, and everybody knows this.
What's that?
Well, that she wasn't ever going to be able to take care of herself.
Oh, right. I see. Yes.
Wait, the daughter you weren't going to name that you just named?
I didn't name.
Yes, you
I
just
said
did.
half.
No.
Well,
said it.
Anyway, delete that part, Nurse.
It's okay.
It doesn't matter.
It's okay.
She's half a world away and doesn't really give a hoot. But
we're not saying anything derogatory.
Oh no, she's a wonderful girl and she's got her life together, big time now. She's got
but
a
when
place
she was younger,
and a job she loves, living in a place that she wants to be.
But when she was younger,
before
she moved to North Carolina with you.
Oh, she was growing up. She had Asperger's syndrome.
Well, she still does.
Well, she still does, but she manages it so well now. I forget she's got it. It's almost like she cured it.
And y'all let her get away with it.
Oh, yeah.
In a way.
Well, she played it.
I don't mean get away with it in that it's not a thing, because it is a thing. Right. I mean get away with it in that she knew.
Oh, yeah, she knew that she could play that card.
Play that up, like.
Yeah, I hate those. I hate people that play cards. Well, I hate when people play cards.
No.
But it's an easy card to play.
But you didn't know that she was doing it either.
Well, and I was an easy touch.
Right.
Because I'm daddy.
But she was doing it.
Yes, she was.
And
you broke that habit.
I did not put up with that.
That was over.
I wasn't mean to her.
You weren't mean ever.
I was never mean to her.
You just went,
But I was like,
nope,
no,
we're not doing that.
No, we're not. No. And I seriously was not mean, and yes, I 100%
right.
know about autism and Asperger's and all that stuff, but she played that. Right. She played you.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
She played you.
But there was... There is and was real root stuff that she is born with.
I know. No, absolutely I know. What I'm saying is at the point when I met her,
right,
she was taking advantage of it.
Yeah. And she was old enough to know she was taking advantage of it.
And she's smart as a whip.
Oh, she's very
So she knew.
She got that from her daddy.
Well, no.
Because, hey! No, that's not true.
She got it somewhere.
Yep. So, let me ask...
but yeah, she did have issues in school.
Yep,
and there were a couple weekends when we had to drive down to school.
Yes. We had challenges.
Rescue her.
Yeah, we had a couple rescue missions we had to do and whatnot. Meltdowns and things like that. And that's her.
We even missed some NASCAR races.
I know, what the hell's with that? I must love my kid or something, huh?
I know, right?
I know, right? So then we also had... current stuff going on in your life that is challenging. I mean, right now, one of your boys is having...
Okay, so first of all, my oldest is 30.
Mm-hmm.
So not really a kid, but always a kid to me. First of all, I don't even feel like an adult most days.
Most days you don't act like one.
Okay, if I don't act like an adult most days, then you're a toddler.
I'm 12 years old permanently, maybe and I like 8. It.
I think more like 8.
No, well, no. Well, maybe some days 8, some days
Hot
8.
Wheels?
Well, that's all the way up to age 80.
Well 90. Anyway.
They're a big thing, by the way, again.
I guess the thing is you always...
The kids are always your kids, no matter how old.
Right.
Well, my parents deal with me, you know.
Well,
And I'm not easy.
You're special. You're special, Chuck.
Yeah, something like that. And
But
so
yeah,
go ahead.
I do. Every time the phone rings and it's
Right.
one of them, I usually go, oh, crap.
What's going
Oh,
on?
crap. Like,
What's wrong?
hopefully they're just calling to say that they love me, but that's probably not true.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, one more thing on my kid before I go. The coolest thing.
you're not going anywhere.
Where
Where are you going?
Before we move on to stay on to you and ask Mr. Dershey. If you got Facebook, you can message anybody across the world for free. Talk to them on the phone. So that's how I talk to my daughter constantly. Miss Lisa.
Yes.
So you were going to say about your oldest.
So he's 30.
Yep.
So, I let my kids still be on my cell phone plan. He's not. My other two are. I'm okay with it. I'm going to eventually kick them off. It doesn't cost me that much money. It's not that big of a thing.
And Netflix.
Well, Netflix is... You're not supposed to tell Netflix that. Netflix is the same price no matter how many people are on it.
I don't think Netflix is going to be listening to our show.
Anyway, so Netflix is different because it's not a per user thing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they let you add so many people.
Well, they do now. They didn't used to.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you pointing your hand at me?
I'm doing a Vanna White too.
You're not as cute, and your dress is ugly.
I like my dress.
Yeah. Sorry. Chuck's got a dress on.
Yeah, they're called Coach pants. Nike.
Nike.
Take that off.
Hey, Chuck,
So, Mr.
Lisa.
Hershey.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
while we're in a lull right here, we do have a caller. We want to bring him in and see what
Oh,
they have to
good.
say.
Oh, cool. Sure. Where you going?
All right, call it. You're on the line.
Hello. Is there anybody out there?
Hello, caller.
Hello. Hello.
Well, we have somebody there.
Hello?
Say something.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, there we go. Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sure can. How are you?
This is D-Dub.
Hi, welcome. Glad you could call in. How are you today?
Good. I can't get in on the website.
Oh, you can't sign in?
No, I've tried 3 browsers. What do I do?
You tried patriotjournalist.com/Chuck Nellis?
Yep.
What's it telling you when you do that?
I can see you guys in there, but I can't I can see you in there, but I can't participate. I can't log in.
Do you have a Facebook or a Twitter account?
You're breaking up real bad.
Do you have a Facebook or a Twitter account?
Yeah, I signed in on both. It lets me sign in, and I see you guys chatting in there, but it's not letting me join the conversation.
Well, Coach Pricex out there listening. Coach, you got any clues? Any way you can help us out?
He's on the message board, so hopefully
I'm on my Samsung.
that shouldn't matter. So when you sign in, what is it saying?
Well, it says tap to join the conversation, and when I do, it goes to a blank screen.
Huh.
Oh, I can hear
Coach
somebody leaving a remark.
Yeah, did you see that?
Click below
Huh?
to join the chat.
Don't click that button. No,
click
see
what?
where below where it says type a message?
Yeah, I clicked that button, Coach.
Maybe it's not mobile friendly.
I don't know. It should be.
I don't know.
Is anybody else on the mobile?
Is there anybody else watching that's on the mobile? Let's see.
Or listening.
Anybody listening on a mobile phone.
Yeah, Coach says that phones are really tough. Desktops are better.
That's what I was thinking.
That sucks. Do you have a computer?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get on my laptop.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thanks guys. Nice meeting you on the phone.
Call us anytime.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, a lot of things work way different on phones than laptops or desktops.
Jerry says he's on a mobile.
For example, our tenant application is different.
Let me ask Jerry what browser he's using. But he's listening anyway, so he should hear me. So anyway, back to kids. Oh, speaking of kids, there's your egg baby.
Look.
Isn't that your egg baby?
Yes.
Unless she looks just like
No, I'm talking. She has.
She looks just like
we all
Emma.
have the same.
She just looks, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are back, and we're kind of wandering all over the place tonight.
Yeah, we are.
Lisa, get back to your story.
My story.
You're that's kind of the reason we're talking about it, because you cut.
Well, no,
and then I was like, oh yeah, I totally agree.
Right. Well, no, I just want to, different people. Like, I know people that once their kid turns 18, they never get any help ever again.
Right.
Nothing monetarily. I mean, yes, spiritually or mentally or whatever. But for example, once I went to my mother. Okay, so I grew up basically knowing that once I turned 18, I was not living in that house anymore, or getting any money from them, which I didn't get any money from them anyway, so it didn't matter.
Right.
Or anything. Like, I was an adult out of that house when I was 18.
That's how it used to be.
Well, no, but not always. Not everybody was
Not
always
everybody.
A lot of people weren't.
Right.
A lot of people, they could go to college, come back home, live there if they needed to,
Right.
whatever, ask for money.
Right.
I knew at that point, if I would have asked for anything,
Right.
they would have laughed at me.
Right.
I mean, they were horrified that I even asked my grandfather to loan me money for a down payment on our house. They're like, that's not what we do. But you know what? He liked me best, so he gave it to me.
That's right. And, and your mother was irked
My
ever
mother
since.
was like, he wouldn't have done that for me.
Right.
Yeah, I know, because he likes me better.
And you were nicer.
Dad? Yeah.
And you're nice.
And he knew that I would actually use it to buy a house with and not
true.
spend it on something else.
That's true.
But,
Yeah.
there's just all kinds of levels.
See, everybody's got their deal. Like your mom, she had her deal. My mom has her deal.
Right,
You have your deal.
I
I have
wanna
my
talk
deal.
about-
Your kids are.
Right,
But
but what I'm
everybody's got
saying
their
is-
deal. But as a parent,
But-
we are dealing with our kids'
Right,
issues,
but how...
and it's
Right,
a
but
challenge.
like you said, well, he doesn't have a car anymore. It's his own fault. Don't loan him your car.
Yep.
And then I'm like, well, he doesn't have a car anymore. It's his own fault. But he can't go to work. So why exacerbate the situation when I have 2 cars?
right. I've come to agree with you on that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why dig the hole deeper?
Right.
If I didn't have 2 cars, that would be different.
The big part about
I don't feel taken advantage of.
The big part about this that changed my thought on it was the fact that there was admission that it was a screw up,
Right.
and a plan to get
Right.
better in the future.
Not a kid that's just like, you owe me this, you should give me this.
Mm-mm.
You're a jerk if you don't give me
No,
this.
he's not that
But
kind.
there are people like that. Not our kids, but other kids that we've known. You know?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Does to me.
Like, well, I know you have this money. I know you have this. Whatever, you should give it to me because I need it and you have it. Where, no.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I never...
Hi.
Whoa, somebody joined us. Who joined us? Yay, Jim Harris joined us. So, we've got Jim, we've got Lisa, we got Jerry, we got Durst, Coach, me. We had more people in the chat room. Come join us in the chat room, people. It's fun. We're here to have fun. And who doesn't want to have fun? Except for maybe Dershey. He's quiet over there. He's really quiet over there.
Can't get a word in edgewise with you and Lisa, so, you know.
Come join us. So, let me ask you, buddy. You got any thoughts on the topic of the night? You want to add some thoughts?
Support for adult children.
Yeah, adult. I mean, we're doing it from the parent end where we're not used to this stuff, so we're learning ourselves.
Yeah, you know, the kids are they're a handful sometimes, and I have 3 great kids, but you know, at one time or another, you know, they've been having their struggles, and I got one right now that's going through some major struggles, and
Right.
And,
pretty tough.
Aren't they all 3 different? Aren't they all 3 really, really different from each other?
Well, yeah, really 2. My oldest and my youngest are very similar. My middle child, he is, there's no such thing as a perfect child, but he's just a few decimal places away from being a perfect child.
Oh, that's good for a middle child.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very unusual,
No
actually.
No offense, my middle child. That's
No,
my
it's
middle child.
very unusual, but yeah, my oldest and my youngest, they've struggled. They've gone through things. You know, my daughter is raising her son by herself, doing a fabulous job, going through nursing school.
Nice.
But it's not easy, and
My middle child is a CNA,
Yes.
hoping to go to nursing school, by the way.
That's cool. That would be great. Yeah. Tell us more, Mr. Dershey.
well, you know, it's just there's a point where sometimes you have to stop helping them get through it. They got to figure it out for themselves, and
Right.
that's basically where we are with my oldest child. He's made some big mistakes and going through some rough times, and he has issues with alcohol. And Chuck, as I've told you about this, and you know, I told him before, if as long as he stays away from the alcohol, then I'll help him. And you know, he isn't, and he called me the other day. He really needed my help, and it was the hardest thing I ever did. But I had to tell him no, I can't help you out.
Yeah. You have to at some point. I mean,
Well, it depends on what it is.
no. That's true. Well, it
Yeah,
it
you can't
depends on
just-
what it. I mean,
yeah.
but like in the case of Dershey's son.
Yes, yes.
You have to at some
Yeah.
point let your hands
Yes.
wipe your hands
I
up
know.
and say,
I know.
"This is all I can do."
I know.
Well, he's not
And that's
willing.
hard.
He's not willing to address that he has issues, and
Right, so that's the thing.
That's the first.
right. And until he does that, then there's really nothing I can do for him. And just to keep propping him up isn't going to help him.
Right.
I agree with you completely.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing we thought about yesterday. You know, do you throw
do you
throw good money after bad
right?
and make things easier, or
Right.
do you deal with it and
Just let it
figure out
Right.
a different way for them to
And
deal with it?
I think the decision that was made is the right one.
But
because-
everybody came to the same decision, which was cool.
Right. Well, that also showed maturity on your son's part.
Right.
Gersh, you of course know that you can ask for my help in any situation, anytime you like. But I know that's got to be hard, man. From a parent, because we love our kids.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really hard to say no when you know you're going to hurt them, but you also have to realize it's probably the best thing for them at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, there were times in my life that I was a maniac, and my parents just said, "No, you got to deal with this on your own."
Yeah, but
And I was just like,
there were also times when, as an adult, they let you come back and let them help you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I was a single father, and I was a single father much of my daughter's life, I had to go live with my parents when I left Texas and took custody of her in Maryland, and so we lived at my parents' house for a couple of years until she utterly drove me insane. My mother.
Your mother, not your daughter.
No, my daughter.
Or both, maybe, but.
Well.
Didn't your mother
my mother spoiled Ryan, and that's what caused that issue, because I never really spoiled her very much, but my mother had, because I was working in a business where I was working probably 60, 80 hours every week, she spent a lot of time at home with my mother in the preschool and early elementary years. And that set some things that had to be addressed in the future. But yes, parents are great help, and my parents were a great help to me at that time, and I'm very grateful for that. And and
they took a whole bunch of pictures of her that you have not looked at yet.
I know. Well, I've got them in my head.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any pictures of me until this past week. You know?
Well, that's another issue.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
My mother's a picture hoarder. Isn't that funny?
She is.
She is. It's hilarious.
She won't.
No, you can't have them.
You cannot.
Stop
making your mother sound like a crow or something. She doesn't sound like
I know.
that.
Well, I need another voice then.
Yeah. No.
No, not that one either.
No. Find a woman's cartoon voice.
Hello!
No, she's not British either. Let's not do that. That's the wife, not the mom.
Oh?
That's Ryan's mother.
Okay. Oh.
Your mom sounded like Benny Hill for a second there, Chuck.
I know, right?
Hello?
No, that's Ryan's mother.
I was actually doing Robin Williams doing whatchamacallit.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello?
So your mother's a transvestite, is that
Maybe.
what you're trying to say?
I don't know who's pitching and who's catching in that relationship.
No, your mother sounds nothing like any of those
No,
voices,
they don't.
by the way.
I'm just messing around. The chances of my mother ever listening to this show are less than 0.
And then she's sitting in her bed right now crying because you're being mean
Right.
to her.
No,
Charles! You stink!
she's probably what's that movie channel? The old TMC?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what she's got on the TV 90% of the time. Oh, and then there's Oprah, and what are the other daytime shows?
The View.
The View.
She watches The View?
Oh, she's never up before noon.
Oh, well, she could tape it.
My mother couldn't.
How do you even know when The View is on? Do you watch it?
No, it's at like 9, 10 o'clock. I'm not up at 9 o'clock.
Well, how do you even know when it's on?
Because I see all this crap they say all the time, so I know what time they're on.
You secretly watch it, don't you?
Yes. In my dress.
You want to be on The View, don't you?
Oh, I really do want to be on The View. Oh, please let me at those wenches.
You have the hair for
Dershie,
it.
could you imagine me on The View?
You have the hair for it.
For about 5 seconds. Then they escort you off the stage.
They would cut me off. They'd have security carry my butt off the stage. We can't have you talking that way.
You don't have a butt.
Well, it'd be easier to carry me then, wouldn't it?
It might. It might.
Except for the weight.
Oh, speaking of talk shows, did you see who's going to replace Kathy Lee?
You.
Yeah, no Frank Gifford, not me. One of the Bush sisters, Jenna Bush, I think.
Oh yeah, she's a nice girl.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
She's
not
a
that
nice
I watch
girl.
any of that.
But she's a Bushy, but other than that. Hey, that makes them happy. They can accept a Republican that's a Bushy,
Well,
but
Kathy
they couldn't
Lee's-
accept a Republican that's more like a me. Not you, me. Huh?
Huh?
There's
Name a
nobody.
woman.
Please.
There's nobody like you, Chuck.
You're an alien.
Please give me that. What you talking about, Willis?
I'm trying to think of a woman that's like that, and they're
Huh?
a conservative woman that's like you. You mean besides all your little fangirls on Twitter?
Yeah, all them.
Fan women? Fan...
Hey, Sean.
Ladies.
Hey, Sean's on. Hey, Sean.
Yeah, you're a little slow.
Jim's here. Oh, has he been here for a while? Good to see you, Sean. I haven't looked at the screen. I've been too busy talking, as we know. So anyway, back to this. Mr. Dershey, do you have anything more to add about children?
Or adult children.
Uh,
Or do you just want to tell us how awesome grandkids are because we don't have any?
But you can save that for another show.
No, we can't.
Lisa's jonesing so bad for grandkids, Dershey. Can you lend her a couple?
Borrow one.
I've got a few. I can rent them out for a while.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's all she wants to do
Yeah.
is snuggle
I
some
just
little
wanna
babies for a
I
while.
just want to
and-
sniff some babies.
Yeah, she wants to smell babies.
And not the bad, not the bad end, the good end.
That's funny.
Well, my youngest just had his first birthday party, and
Aw.
it
Did
was
he have a smash cake?
he had a smash cake. He did a great job.
Did
I
they
don't-
smash it
I-
in his face?
No, they they give the babies a
Yeah,
smash
just
cake
to,
where
just
they
so
mush.
they can just and
Yeah,
eat it
I
and like
just-
by their hands and stuff. Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
guess. I just think that's so weird.
He had
Well,
an
they don't
absolute
remember
blast.
it. Well, by the age of 3, they don't remember it by the age of 4 where you're making them use a knife and fork.
No, what I'm saying, just the fact that they give them a whole cake that they could just smash up.
It's fun. I'd give them a cupcake. They don't need more than a cupcake.
They give them a whole cake.
No, that's ridiculous.
That's entitlement.
Cake entitlement. Give them cake. Wait, didn't somebody try that before? Let them eat
no,
cake.
let them eat cake.
Right,
That
and
was-
they didn't eat cake.
Well, yeah, let's not go there because that's, yeah.
Yeah, that's not good history.
No, it's
It's also not true, by the way.
No, it's not.
No,
because
The let them eat cake thing isn't
no,
true.
it's not true.
no,
And
because they were running out of bread. That's why she said that.
she didn't
They were
actually
running
even
out of
say it.
bread.
She didn't say it.
But yeah,
I've been to Versailles several times, and they go through and they make
You
a
have, you lucky bastard.
they make a
well,
point.
thanks for pointing that out, Mr. World Traveler.
Yeah.
He loves to brag
I
about
know.
that, doesn't he?
I've been there several times. Have you?
Well,
Go ahead, man.
my
Sorry.
point is they make a point to point out that is a old wives' tale. It didn't actually happen.
Hey, what's wrong with old wives?
What? Not old.
Old wives' tale.
Older. You're not old.
You're old.
No, I'm not. I'm older.
You can get.
I'm old.
See your discounts.
We were talking about this the other day, Dershey. What's the average age? 72?
Average age of what? Dying?
Humans dying. Kicking a bucket.
Of men or women?
No, overall. I think it's age 72, if I remember right. Now, based on that, what would midlife be? 36.
Yeah.
So everybody that says, I'm middle-aged at age 50 or 55,
Or is very optimistic.
yeah, they're going to live to 120. That ain't happening very often. Anyway, that's all I got to say about
That's
that.
all I got.
So, Darsh,
Yeah, man.
talk to me, bro. All right. So back to the kids.
Hey, you can do an ad for your show if you'd like.
Oh yeah, do another ad for the show.
Not a real ad. I mean, you guys talk about it.
I know. Hey, so Dershey, you and I are going to talk about the new show. We're going to talk politics. We're going to get down and dirty. It's not going to be as nice as today.
Lisa's gonna hide in the bedroom.
And well, Lisa has these great Sennheiser headphones. She actually sat
true.
right next to me the other
And I
night.
jammed out to Backstreet Boys.
I could hear it playing in my headphones.
It was called Songs to Sing in the Shower. That's the playlist. It's a great playlist. Look it up on Spotify.
Yeah,
I
that's
was not
fine.
paid for that.
So anyway, while you and I were doing the show, Dersh, she's cranking it up through her Sennheiser.
Cranking it up. And you're trying to talk to me, and I'm like,
She can't hear a thing. She just gives me the finger and just keeps on going.
and I was dancing in my chair.
It's funny. So Dershey and I have got this great show that we're going to do. Dershey is extremely knowledgeable of politics, and I've been known to know a little bit myself.
Tell him what my alternate name for the show should have been.
What's your alternate name?
You're not right.
I was telling everybody else.
You're not right.
Actually, I kind of like that.
I know, I do too. I could say that during the show if you'd like.
I don't care. But our show is called The Right Side of Politics. Mr. Dershi came up with that. That's a good name.
Yep.
And
if you need a guest voice, though, I will come in and say that.
You'll come in and go,
you're not right.
And conservatives still suck. Right?
No.
I can see it now.
I will not say that.
I can see it now. But we're going to be talking conservative politics. Dershi is a conservative. I am a conservative. And we've been wanting to do this for a while.
For a long while.
And it needs to be done. I mean, we've been, first time we ever started.
We can debate that part.
Everything's debatable.
Since it's our show right now, we can.
Right. Absolutely. Seeing it's your show right now. But you gave me the time, so don't filibuster. No filibustering on the floor. Right?
That's correct.
And I'm always right?
Chuck, you are always right, and you're always right when you're right.
When I'm right. Right.
Right.
When I'm right, I'm right. And don't you forget it.
You're right.
Absolutely. So we're going to be doing a lot of, we will be covering actual topics. This show, we're kind of float from here to there and back, which makes it extremely hard on our producer, Mr. Dershi. Right, Mr. Dershi?
We pay him the big bucks.
Yeah, sure do. Sure do. And that swear job's keeping me in the money.
Swear jar.
Keeping me in the money.
It's not getting you to Europe, though, dude. We don't swear enough.
He does that on his own.
I know. He has other means of doing that. And very noble means. You're a teacher, dude, and you're always taking kids here and there that get to do the experiences of a lifetime. And I want your job, frankly.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I want to take 20 kids to Europe.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No. You don't even want to take 3 kids to Europe. Trust me.
Chuck, we got somebody, I think, a nice lady who called us says she's in. Looks like it. 23 minutes. No sound, though, so, so she still has a problem.
No sound?
That's what she says.
Well, she's in. So, I don't know. There's a volume and mute button down in the bottom middle. Check on that, please. See, it's got pin, then it's got export, then it's got open chat, and then it's got turn sound effects. Well, that's sound effects.
Yeah, I think you have to go up to the video itself, and it might be muted up there, or might be muted on her.
Right. It would be the mute button on the top right, top left video.
Correct.
You're so smart. That's why you get paid the big bucks, like Lisa says. Do you know in all my years on Twitter, I have never made a penny?
You're not supposed to make pennies. It's counterfeiting.
I didn't even. I've been non-profit all these years, and everybody, I get so.
I thought you were a prophet.
Well, I am. Well, different spelling.
Preacher.
We'll deal with that one another time.
I'm just trying to be funny.
You are funny.
I know. You're funny looking.
Welcome to our living room. This is what we do for real. Really, this chat is not much different than any chat that Lisa and I might have. Except Dershi, of course, isn't here, which I wish you lived close enough
that would
you could
be
hang
weird.
out, but
that would kind of be weird if he was sitting in our living room while we were talking to each other.
Well, I hope it happens one day, actually.
Well,
I do, too.
Well, yeah, that too.
Right. I mean, like I said, I've got a portable studio here with my laptop.
Or we go to...
So we could
go to Orlando!
We go to Orlando. Lisa wants to go do Disney for some reason.
I was just at Epcot last weekend. No, you know that.
You know why?
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because you're 5 years old.
I want to go to Universal.
You can go to both. Duh.
Isn't Universal the one with Harry Potter and all?
Yeah. I want to go to Harry Potter. I have not seen any of the movies or read any of the books.
Because of my daughter, I have seen all the movies, and she has read all the books.
You take her, not me.
What, I see you a lot more. I see her once every 2 years.
That's like me making you go to an REM concert.
I went our first
But
date
you
was
didn't know
an
any
R.E.M.
of the
concert.
songs.
I did too.
Okay, well, see, I didn't read any of the books. So.
And we'll get reading. Or watch the movies. It makes it a lot shorter.
No, reading is better than movies.
Reading is fundamental.
Reading is better than movies.
Watching the movie is a lot faster.
You know what? Hey, guess what else, people?
Well, actually, you read
I
as
don't
fast.
like Lord of the Rings either.
You read as fast as my daughter. She read that 800-page
I don't
version,
wanna.
the thick book.
I tried to.
And she read that in
I could
4
read it
hours,
if I
3
could
hours.
read it if I wanted to. Maybe I'm one of those people that don't like Harry Potter.
But you don't know why you don't like Harry Potter.
I don't like Lord of the Rings either.
I don't like Lord of the Rings, but I saw the movies.
Well, that doesn't. There's no logic there. I've tried to read The Hobbit
Yeah?
like 7 times.
Well, The Hobbit's drawn out.
No, I am
I read that when I was a kid.
I am one of the world's most voracious readers.
You are.
I have tried to read that fucking book 7 times, and every time I've been like, okay, I need a freaking flowchart for this book because there's too many names
too many
in here.
characters
It's
and
too
stuff.
boring at the beginning.
It really is. It's like reading Deuteronomy.
It
It really is. It's like, okay.
all I know is
The sound you just heard was a Yingling light being opened. There's your free advertisement, Yingling. We're happy to have sponsors. And when I get up in the morning, every single morning, I have Black Rifle
and
coffee.
they apparently don't care.
And I want them to care. I want them to be I really want them to be our first
know.
sponsor. And really, those are only the 2 good purposes of water. To be honest. Right?
Beer and coffee.
Beer and coffee.
Well, what about wine?
Well, wine's okay, but that's not from water directly. That's
Yes,
from
it-
grapes.
Well, beer's not from
Well, that's
water
it.
directly
I just thought
either.
of that. I was like, okay, that's a stupid
Einstein.
analogy. Darcy!
Anyway, plus Jesus liked wine better.
Well, he turned water into it. Why didn't Jesus
Oh,
turn
exactly!
Why didn't he turn it into beer?
Because he liked wine better.
I guess. What's your preference, Dersh? Beer or wine?
Yes.
He's going to tell me like scotch.
Yes.
What's your drink of choice?
I've told you several times, coffee in my beer is my drink of choice.
He's such a smart ass. I meant seriously.
Have you had that,
I hear ice cubes in your drink.
have
So
you
what are you
had
drinking?
have you had that coffee flavored stout?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I love, is a coffee flavor in my beer.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
That is my...
Oh, that you. Oh, right. Oh, right. That one from Tampa, wasn't it?
No, it's from Europe.
Yeah, there's...
What's the one from?
my favorite's from
It's a
Tampa.
little slow.
I knew he told me one from Tampa. That's why I was thinking
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, it's a Cubana Espresso.
Oh, nice.
Made with Cuban coffee. It's really strong and really good.
Ah, that's where we all need to go.
Where?
Cuba. What?
Why?
Ask Dersh if he wants to go there. I bet he does.
Darcy, you want to go to Cuba?
No, I don't, actually.
I don't. You know
Right.
why? They probably won't let me leave again.
They steal your batteries.
They probably won't let me freaking leave. They're gonna go. We heard of you.
You really don't want to go there.
No, I really don't. And other place I don't want to go to Mexico either, because in both cases you're supporting a dictatorship, and I just it's not. I can't do that.
Right.
Well, not to get political, but
Okay. So anyway, let's see. We've covered everything we planned on. We've covered all our kids. We do. If you kids are listening, we love you to death.
oh, absolutely.
And
And,
all-
you know we'd do anything for you up to a point.
Our point to everyone, to summarize really, is exactly what Lisa just said. We will do anything for our kids up to a point. Our parents
We
did.
just are not really sure what
Every
that point
parent-
is all the time.
Well, it's an arbitrary number.
Right.
But-
It's a floating point.
But if
Right?
you have a partner, it makes it a lot easier to find to find an answer that you can live with.
Right.
You know, because you gotta do it. You gotta help them, but you also have to have the ability to say no, and that's the hardest thing to do. because you love your kids and you want them to succeed, but you can't succeed for them. They have to do it themselves.
It's very true, Chuck.
Right?
Yep.
All right,
That's
guys. I think we've... how many minutes have we done? We don't have an arbitrary number. We don't get paid for this
We
stuff.
started a little late, but we're good. It's all good.
We've been on the air
Paid
for
by the hour.
55 minutes, Chuck.
Oh no, we get paid by the hour. We got to do 5 more minutes.
Oh, no!
No, we do not.
We really thank you guys that are listening in and talking to us in the chat room and stuff. I haven't been chatting so much today, and I'm sorry for that. We usually type in there. But I've had more fun talking with you guys. And it was a topic that's really important to everyone. I mean, whether if you're a kid that's going through hard times, looking from your parents' standpoint, they're going through hell because they're worried about you.
Right, and there are shitty parents.
And there are shitty parents.
Darcy gets a quarter.
I'm getting the euro, man.
$2 for that.
Oh, for you. For
we
you.
both. No, you said it and I said it at the same time.
Oh, from you though. It's your money because he's your friend.
It's all virtual money anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, there are parents that really don't give a care about what their kids do, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the parents that really, really, really want to help their kids, but they don't want to just roll over and give them everything that.
And maybe this is a message to parents who are rolling over and giving their kids too much too, because you're not doing them a favor at a point.
Right.
If they're at a point where they're addicted to something, or they're having affairs, or doing the wrong things.
Can I just interject this here? My kids grew up in Chapel Hill. There were a lot of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just not bad drugs, but just drugs at the time.
There were a lot of bad drugs.
But when they were younger, I mean, like pot, whatever. I would never give them actual cash for anything at school because they would actually have to turn that check in to the school to, buy their lunch, buy their whatever. Because I figured if I ever did give them actual cash, there might be that temptation to have it diverted somewhere else.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's just like a little thing that I did,
Yeah. I was just telling everybody in the chat room that thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
They don't have to be here, and, we want to entertain you. We want to invite you into our living room and our life. Yeah. And it's a pretty interesting life. We'll talk more about how different politically and stuff, Lisa. I almost called you Louise.
Well, you can call me Louise. I don't care. Louise. We already did that story, right?
It's better than what you call her off the air, Chuck.
Oh, do you want to go to... You don't want to go there, what my parents used to call you.
her honest to God.
Let's just say it. Let's just say it. How do we explain it? It rhymes with Chuck. But
it is not as nice.
But it would go in the swear jar.
It would definitely be in the swear jar. And her mother gave me... Well, no, your father and your mother coordinated together and gave me that nickname when I was hanging out with your sister when we were going to college together.
Yeah.
And when we'd go out partying a lot at night, and right off the bat, first time I ever freaking met him or something.
My parents were out there.
Well, we were on a bowling league, and that's when they gave me the name.
But they were also not
normal,
straight.
They weren't normal.
Normal, straight, up and up, whatever.
What is normal, seriously, though? But
it's that normal. It's that marijuana thing.
NORML?
Yeah.
National Organization for the Reformation of Marijuana Laws. That's it.
Yep. There you go.
Yep. Anyway, that's another topic we keep trying to talk about, but we never quite get to. But that's okay.
We have every week.
I know, this is the fun thing. We get the spiel. And Mr. Dershey and I will be the next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Same bat time, not same bat time, but same bat channel. You'll actually come to the same web address that you came tonight for this show. So if you save this on your tabs or your favorites, just save the Patriot Journalist Facebook.com/Chuck Nellis. And you'll be able to get Dershie and me on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Don't forget, mark that down. And next Wednesday at 9:30, you get to hang out with us again. And tell your friends, please. We want to grow this. We want to have fun. And we want it to be something different than the normal. And we want suggestions. Please tell us what you want to talk about. We're always open to that.
We might not listen, but we'll we'll read it.
Hey,
Hey, what?
Well, let's see. Durst, you don't like Harry Potter either?
Yeah, you know, my middle child and his wife, they were talking about it, are perfect. They absolutely love them. They actually have a Harry Potter closet which has Harry Potter in it.
A Harry Potter shrine.
Yeah, and his wife teaches second grade, and her classroom looks like you walked into the Harry Potter scene.
Wow.
It's absolutely incredible. She has the chairs and the desks, the ancient, looking wizardry stuff. But I was never in the Harry Potter. I watched the first couple movies, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't have anything for me.
Well,
but you know what?
The point that I can't remember her first name. I'm so old. The Dove One says that she doesn't like it because it's full. It turns out we're not going to get off the line yet because we still got stuff to talk about.
Well, we don't care.
We don't care.
We're not paying for this.
We could talk all night. Seriously, we're going to do the same thing.
Right, and then I'll just go, I'm tired, night.
Right, that'll happen in about 20 minutes.
Probably.
That Harry Potter is full of witchcraft, and it is. And when my daughter was growing up watching these, I was very, very, very careful to make a differentiation in what's real and what's good and what's bad.
So is the Bible.
Well, I taught her that too.
It's full of witchcraft.
Well, yeah, he's smiting it.
Well, it is.
Smiting witchcraft. Yes, I agree. And evil and all that. That was a good chug of beer right there. Cheers, guys.
Welcome to Chuck and Lisa's bar.
Welcome to our living room. She says, jump in her, Dershie. You're talking on message.
We're just talking about beer, Chuck, so,
beer's good.
The important stuff.
All things. Well, we'll finish the show by talking about beer. Lisa's having a Miller Lite. I'm having a Yuengling Light.
Miller Lite is not my beer of choice. Well, it is my home beer of choice.
Yeah.
But when I go out,
it's your daily.
I have just Beer Bob.
Oh, and my daily's either Yuengling Light or Yuengling.
I have my best friend who is no longer with us.
Yeah.
We would go out and we would have different beers. But when I would go home, I would have
your
Miller
IPA
Lite.
Buddy.
Yeah, but I didn't drink IPA.
No, he was a big IPA guy.
Right.
I can't stand
the funny
IPA.
part is, I would go home and I would have crap beer, but when I would go out, I would have great beer.
So, yes, sir. Dershie, sir. Hello.
Yeah. I can't stand IPAs.
No, you know what? Okay, so when I was a little kid, I used to bite my fingernails, and my mother bought this stuff and put it on my fingernails so I wouldn't bite them.
Yeah.
And you know what it tastes like?
IPA!
It does! It tastes like IPA. It's the same taste.
That's hilarious.
I don't know what that crap was, but whatever it was they put on my fingernails, it tastes like IPA.
Boy, did you nail that right on the screen, Dershie. Please continue to listen while Chuck and Lisa chase another rabbit hole. We do that very, very well.
You shut up. You shut up, Darcy. It's true, though. They're gross, aren't they?
Dershie, say it back. That was funny hearing you say it earlier.
Shut up, Lisa.
Shut up, Lisa.
Wait, we can just see he's got it. See, my sister said, though, the other night, Darcy needs to say, shut up, Chuck, right. Because he's not saying it right, but he's got it now.
He's got it now. He's learned. Shut up.
Yeah, shut up, Chuck. Shut up, Lisa.
Hey up, Chuck. That's like the most common expression in England. That just means, hey, my friend.
Yeah, but IPAs, most pretentious trend ever.
Yeah.
They don't taste good.
No, they
I'm
don't.
going with America's oldest brewery.
They taste horrible.
Since 1889.
It's almost
1829.
like it's almost
that's
like
a long time.
who can drink the most disgusting beer?
There's no doubt.
Oh, there's no
What it
kidding.
is.
It is. It's awful. It's a yuppie thing. These people have dead taste buds that drink that stuff.
It's like
Now,
right. It's
tell
like
me, tell me about this Cuban espresso.
A Cubano Espresso from Cigar City.
Yeah.
espresso. You don't say the X.
Oh, espresso. I'm sorry.
Espresso.
Espresso. And
I know that. I'm just thinking.
oh, it's incredible because, like I said, they brew it with the real strong Cuban coffee grounds, which is Cuban coffee is just like you put a hair on your chest, and it's a stout, so it's a really thick beer at the same time. Oh, it's incredible.
So one of my friends who likes to go watch EPL in the morning at the pubs over here in North Carolina, that's what he'll do, is he'll drink one of those because it's kind of like a coffee and kind of like a beer. So, he'll show up at 7 o'clock or whatever and drink one of those. It's perfect. I mean, for watching soccer.
Yeah,
Oh, and by the way, Dersh, your photos have been sent, and they are on the way back.
Yes.
They are on the way back. Yeah,
Thank you.
Ike was out of town.
Fantastic.
Ike was out of town, and he said they were going to be coming back around the 23rd.
That's great.
So I'm guessing they'll be whenever he gets them from the office.
Who's he playing for now? Is he still with?
No, he
Portland.
got transferred.
Minnesota, right?
All right.
I believe it's Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota. So we will.
Jerry wants to have a good Cuban cigar. I used to love smoking cigars, but since I quit smoking cigarettes, the only thing
but
I
you don't-
smoke is my vape.
But you don't really inhale
it's
them,
tobacco,
right?
though. I don't want to introduce tar and tobacco.
Well,
back
don't
into
they
my
have, like,
lungs.
Gluten-free cigars?
Well, my
Tobacco-free cigars?
my doctor isn't a big fan of the vape, but he says my lungs look clear as a bell. So
Yeah. You know what?
5 years later,
doctor-
I have got no
Your
complaints.
doctor also doesn't drink coffee, so he's a suspect.
Well,
Did he ever tell you that?
He's a former football player.
Yeah,
he
but
got
did
hit in the head a lot.
Did he ever tell you that? He
Yeah.
doesn't like coffee, he likes Diet Coke.
I know. I talked to him about that. I was like, dude, it's bad for you. He goes, I know. I don't care.
That's his only...
Right.
His
He said
only
that's
vice.
like his
It's
biggest
not his
vice.
only vice.
No.
Yeah.
No. He's a good doctor. He's like the coolest doctor I've ever had. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he really
Like
is.
that. At least.
What? Oh, I know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Darcy! Tell me about this beer. I want to try it.
The stout?
Well,
No.
The stout.
The
It's
Cubano.
It's the stout. It's a
Okay,
stout.
it's a
Okay,
stout.
for first of all, you don't like Guinness.
Oh, no, I don't like
So
it.
you-
Oh,
might
it
not
doesn't
like this.
doesn't taste anything like Guinness. Like I said, it tastes like coffee, which is why I like it. It tastes like a
Oh, there you
Cuban coffee. It's absolutely fabulous.
love Cuban
all
coffee.
right. Well, then, yeah, let's try it out.
I had Cuban friends when I lived down in St. Croix and up in Maryland. We all moved to the same place, ironically.
I'm not racist. I have Cuban friends. No, it just sounded like that. Sorry.
I never mean that about
I
anybody.
know,
You
it
know
just
me.
it just sounded
Your
like
cat's eating your cord.
that. Well,
No, move the cat, not
look,
the cord.
Dave's not here because he ate the cord and he died.
Christmas vacation.
Yep.
So, Chuck,
Dead cat on the... Yes, sir.
the problem with the Cubano Espresso is they only brew it twice a year, and they have to have a calendar, and I keep track of the calendar because when they brew it, you have probably 3 days to get down to the tasting room to buy it because it will be gone in less than 3 days. Yeah.
Dang.
Well,
So do you
buy-
buy the big bottles?
Yeah, you can. They have the large bottles, and they also have 4-packs. And unfortunately, they've started putting stuff in cans, which I can't stand lately. But yeah, when you go to the tasting room too, they have it on draft, and they infuse it with nitro, which makes it even better. I mean, it's a fantastic
nice.
beer to begin with. But then they infuse it with nitro. It's so smooth. I mean, you could just sit there and drink it all day
Infuse it
long.
with what?
Nitro.
Okay, like a Boddington's, right?
Yeah. It's,
isn't that what they do with the Boddingtons?
yes,
okay.
it just makes it really mellow and really, creamy. Oh, it's fantastic.
Chuck has
That's awesome.
absolutely no idea what you're talking
No,
about.
it sounds
right
fun. I want to try one. When is it that you go to the? When is it that they brew next?
Well, they brew in February and September.
Uh-oh, so we just missed it.
Looks
Yeah,
like we got to go in
it's-
September.
Yeah, it's,
And
it's definitely
coincidentally,
gone.
Florida's cooling down a little bit finally,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
September, Florida's starting to drop a little.
Cool.
That's cool. Maybe
Right,
we'll
well,
head down for September.
I'm signing off.
All right, everybody, we've had enough fun. Oh, Susan, that's right. Hi, Susan. That's who The Dove is.
Okay, hi. I talked to her today.
Yeah, yep, she's an old friend, and I'm really glad that she found me on Twitter again, and I'm really glad that she's having fun with us, because that's all this is about. We're going to have fun, you know? All right, everybody, I guess we better call it a
This
night.
is not about us screaming at each other.
No, we're not going to do that.
Been there, done that.
Dershie and I will scream about other people on Tuesday. Right, Dersh?
Every day, all day.
Yep.
We're just on the radio on Tuesday, Chuck.
Exactly. Oh, that's true. If you read my Twitter or have known Mr. Dershie on Twitter over the years, then that looks.
That's another
that
day.
looks
What are you doing?
The Dershie just posted the beer. It looks like delicious motor oil.
Delicious motor oil. Yummy. Let's have some.
Let's drink motor oil.
Kids, don't try this at home.
As it is, they're eating the Tide Pods. Oh,
No.
God.
No delicious motor oil.
What was I saying? I completely lost it.
I got nothing.
Dershie, any idea what I was talking about?
You were talking about you and Dershie's show later.
Oh, we're
on.
talking
Yeah.
about Dershie. Me and Dershie.
Well, let's not do that.
Dershie, we gonna have fun?
We always have fun, Chuck. Always.
I know.
You know why? Do you know why? Do you know why?
Why?
Because you're
Why?
always right, Chuck.
You're not right.
Exactly.
You're not right.
I'm right.
You're not right.
I'm as right as I get.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other people.
Oh,
You're not right.
that's true.
You see,
You're not.
you
I
should.
like it.
You and Dershie.
Yeah.
You're not right.
And I can do that really loud
All right.
too.
Well, you have my permission to use that.
All right, guys. This is the Chuck and Lisa show with Dershie, the professor behind the production end of it, and we're gonna say goodnight. And
And
as
we'll
I
see you
always,
next week.
we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9:30 Wednesday nights. And Dershie
Stop
and me,
calling
don't
me a
forget next
bat.
Tuesday. You're not a wife, you're a witch.
Liar!
And Obama still sucks. What do you got to say, Dersh? We're out of here.
Have a great night. Love you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Good night, all.